I did the worst thing I could ever do to someone. It was my first real boyfriend, and I loved him very much. The relationship was 18 months last year. We were having problems, and me choosing the wrong way to deal with it. I cheated, and I told someone that I know I didn't trust. So the word spread, but I lied. So I wouldn't hurt him now that I think of it. I think I was only lying for my sanity. And that's it. Just recently, on the 30th of January, he found out for sure it was the worst day. And yes, I know it's all my fault, so no need to push more onto my shoulders. My feelings have changed, though I was only sorry that I got caught, and when I was lying about it, I didn't think about how much it would hurt him. Either now I am sad for him and his friend that I lied to also because I put them in a bad situation. I really do want this person back. He means a lot to me now that I don't have him, and I'm very hurt and regretful for what I did. I know the best thing to do is wait, but I'm not a patient person. I really do need him in my life. Because other than maybe an occasional hug from my mother, he was the only one I got affection from. I really do want him to trust me again because I'm changing. He's smart and funny and is going somewhere in life, and I want to be there with him and support him in everything right now. He wants space and doesn't want to talk. And I completely understand, but it really is hard to let them know that you are very truly sorry for what you did. Another thing, I know his friends are supporting him and trying to get him away from me for good, but I want them to know that if we ever do work out again, I will be a different, better person. I don't want them to think I'm just going to walk all over him again, because that is not the case. And once again, I know Reddit doesn't like cheaters. I don't either. But it was the worst thing I've ever done to someone, and now I'm more hurt than ever. Edit, I don't want sympathy, I want advice. Edit, the fact that I'm sorry and sad at what I did. Beats if I were happy and laughing, and only sad that he found out. And like I said, I was like that. But now that I actually don't have him, it's harder than you think. Unless you've been in this situation, don't judge. This is the internet. You don't know who I am and how I handle things. Comments first off, I got cheated on in the past, so I think I can give you a little insight when you did that. It basically diminished any trust there was. He most likely is angry and just does not want to see you, but you know that I would recommend leaving him alone for a while and let him cool down, maybe write a letter in the near future, but not immediately. Or if he lets you talk to him, I always felt that once the trust is gone, it is so much harder to build it up again. That being said, give him time. Nothing is worse than being constantly harassed by someone when you're angry and hurt. Already, it just makes things worse. In the meantime, try to find something that distracts you, hobbies or friends, etc. Good luck for it to work out. He has to be able to forgive you. He's not so it won't work out. You can't force him to want anything else with you because you've done the unthinkable. I've been in his shoes, and it takes a lot not to run away, not to want revenge. Leave him be, let him go and find someone better. The fact is, you don't deserve him. Cheaters are disgusting. Never do this again. It hurts more than you'll ever know. You know how you feel, multiply that by 1,000,000. Then you know how he feels, don't go back to him. It's a terrible thing to see. Saw a person back and forth like that after the period of time you've given it. He hasn't even had a chance to recover from it. You have scarred him for life. And every woman he will ever be in a relationship with is going to suffer some effect, like distrust from your actions. Leave him alone. And just try not to do that again. Story 2, just to get this out of the way. First, my boyfriend and I, 28 female, are completely okay with not being legally married. Right now, we pretty much are in every other sense, physically, emotionally, financially, etc. We've been together since I was 16. He has completely lost interest in sex with me over the last year or two. I know he still masturbates because I've caught him pinching one off in the shower, and there's porn on her computer, when I throw myself at him. I'm not successful very often. We used to have sex daily in our teens, and now I'm lucky to have sex once every 4 to 6 weeks. I've somehow convinced myself that even then, he does it to get me to leave him alone. There may be a couple of things that are affecting our sex life. About 2 years ago, he started taking ADHD medication that says reduced sex drive is a side effect. I'm currently trying to get over a bout of depression that started about a year ago. We were both financially effed, and in school, communication has always been a strong point in our relationship. Also, I thought I've told him that I want to have more sex, and he says he'll try. I pounce him. Nothing happens. I wait for him to come to me. It doesn't happen. He doesn't want to stop taking his meds or even try a different brand. I've also told him that I didn't get depressed. Or is it disappointment until we stopped having sex regularly? But he says it doesn't help. So in the last 6 months or so, I've tried to pretty myself up quite a bit, have lost weight, and doing other things that make me happy, I would like to think. Our lack of sex is because he's stressed, but then why is he wanking it without me? While I'm in the house, my communication with him this time hasn't helped. He refuses to work while he's in school undergrad, so I had to pick up a crappy full-time job while writing my thesis for AMs. I almost immediately found my boss very attractive. I know, bad idea, but had no plans to do anything. I've been in a relationship for 12 years. It didn't even cross my mind. Over the past several months, we started joking around at work and enjoying each other's company. Sexual tension began to rise, but I thought it was just me. So again, no worries, just my lusty imagination, right? Recently, the weather got bad while at work and the roads were terrible. I work at a hotel, so they put people up for the night who had to work the next day. We both had to work, so he invited me into his room to have a drink before I went to mine. We ended up talking for a couple of hours and getting shit-faced. He seduced me, and I let him. It was the most fun. Best sex I've had in year. I feel horrible for having so much fun. I've never considered myself a cheater, and I know this would end my relationship with my boyfriend if he knew my boss is wanting more, and I feel confused. This man is a wolf. He's kryptonite to me. I told him I have to stay away from him, but I don't want to. And I'm not sure if I could. I can't remember the last time I lusted after someone this much. Not really emotionally attached. As far as I know, I feel like I'm stuck in a raunchy Lady Gaga song. I had to stifle everything I could just to not jump his bones at work yesterday. My boyfriend and I are in a rough patch, apparently rougher than I thought right now. And I want to say we can move on from this. It just isn't happening right now. And who knows when, of course, I still love him, but I've never been tested like this before. My boyfriend is otherwise very good to me. Aside from the selfish behavior of refusing to work and refusing sex, what do you do when a Mr. Right Now is in front of you almost every day at work, who is completely okay with the fact that you have a boyfriend? I don't think I'm looking for justification of my behavior, just some thoughts. So much for being the nice girl next door. Additional info 1. Relationships at work have happened before. No one seems to really care. Oddly, even more strange. I've heard the GM, not the boss, in said discussion joke about trying to be a matchmaker for people at work. Aside from a weekly check to help pay the bills, this job has nothing to do with my intended career path, and therefore if I need to quit, I will 3. I won't be stringing the boss along. I'm pretty sure we both understand. There is no emotional relationship here. 4. Despite what you may think, yes, I really do love my boyfriend. I wasn't planning on this at all, never, but I let it happen. I have to live with that. I get it, he's messed up in the past as well. I haven't decided if it helps me. When he told me update, I tried to talk to my boyfriend about our sex life this morning. He literally ignored me. I asked him why he wasn't responding, and he told me he had to go to school. He had 2 hours before his first class. No progress there. I also talked with my boss. Last night extensively, we were discussing our lapse in ethics, and he responded that he follows the moral codes of Oscar Wilde. The only way to get rid of temptation is to yield to it. He then asked me if I had plans on Friday, so no progress there either. But I must say it's flattering to me to feel desired by an attractive man, no matter what his actual intentions may be. Plan of escape from both situations is ensuing. Whether or not I'm successful on either task remains to be seen. Reddit, thank you for your constructive posts and thoughtful advice. And to those who judge me with your self-righteous posts, I hope you feel better about yourselves. Comments, I'm afraid I don't have any advice for what to do, But what you should absolutely not do is try to continue your relationship with your boyfriend while continuing to put yourself in situations where your boss will come seduce you again so you can pretend you're not at fault when you sleep with him. Stop making excuses on why you cheated. Nothing justifies cheating. Nothing. If you were unhappy, you leave your partner and find a new one. Then you can have as much sex as you want with whoever. But your partner doesn't deserve to be cheated on like this. After 12 years, be honest with him and tell him what you did. You owe him at least that much. Unfortunately, I don't see any way your relationship can survive now. If you think the lack of sex was killing it, then the fact you just slept with someone else behind his back is the nail in the coffin, despite what you may think. Yes, I really do love my boyfriend. Please spare the, if you loved him, you wouldn't have cheated. That's all.